Boston Sports Today podcast with me, your host, Kurt Willett.
We got one thing to say to you right
Today
now.
we have two bummies here with me.
Warriors. Yes, sir, man. The Warriors come out in game 2 and annihilate the bummy ass Celtics 107-88. Of course, me and Raph stated them. Kurt, man, what do you have to say for yourself right now?
I mean, there's nothing you can say after that one. Celtics outscored by 25 points in the third.
Yeah, I mean that's just super tough.
It's crazy the inconsistency that this team has because they have so much talent, and it's like if you watch them, they go stretches where it looks like they have never played basketball before in their lives, like they're a JV team.
JV. Oh man, at least Tatum did bounce back though. At least I sprinkled a little bit on. Whenever Tatum has a bad game, he always just kills it the next game. At least Tatum is consistent. But one more time, Ryan, let's hit it, man. Warriors. Man, all right, but realistically, this series is still far from over. So. Let's wait. Now it's going back to Boston. I'll swing it back to Kurt here. How are we feeling about the series in total? Is that just one you chalk up? Is there a bigger thing?
I mean, I think that one was certainly demoralizing, but it was in a lot of points reminiscent of the last couple of series with the Heat and Bucks, where, like I said, they just completely forget how to play basketball for one. They can't make open shots for two. And then the biggest thing in my eyes, at least, was the turnovers. Just over and over again, the stupidest turnovers. You see absolutely nothing there, and then Marcus Smart tosses it into 3 Warriors. So I really think I still feel good about the series. We're done with, or we got back home field advantage. We won a game there. And I'm still feeling confident, but certainly that is a wake-up call. The Warriors are here to play.
They certainly are. What is your predictions for the series right now, man? What do you think?
I think it's gonna be 7. I think that's what. I think it's going 7, but I just can't really bet against the Golden State Warriors. Let's go against them.
Of course you can't, man, especially when you have to bet on the Celtics.
Exactly.
All I'm saying, they ain't got KD no more.
That's true. Andrew Wiggins had a couple, he did not look that sharp. At least when I was, in the first half, he made some, really bummy-ass plays.
In the first game, he was really good, and I thought he still played pretty good defense tonight, but, Yeah. They definitely need him to step up. I just want to point out, though, that still after this game, the Warriors have only won 2 or 3 of their last 10 in the finals without KD. And some of that is injuries and stuff that includes Clay going down, of course. But I think that's still something you have to look at.
Bro, what, 2 of 10 in the finals without KD?
No, I'm 2-8, or it's either 2-8 or 3-8 now. I'm not 100%.
It's probably 3. I mean, they lost. Yeah, all right. Oh yeah, because he was probably injured in some other games going back. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. And you're counting 2016. Yeah. Okay, that took me a little bit, but yeah, that's true. I mean, Kevin Durant, but I mean, the C's did sweep Kevin Durant. It would have been nice if we had started this earlier. We could have Sam on. That would have been funny. Yeah, but I honestly neutrally am just, if I'm the Celtics, it's obviously a wake up call, but ultimately you did what you accomplished to do, which is steal 1 game at the Chase. Would it have been obviously ideal to win 2? Yes. But they steal 1, they get home court back, and there's a lot to go over in the film. And like you said, it's not like the Celtics are immune to games like this. So it's not even like to me, like obviously the coaching staff, Ime has to draw this one up, but if I'm a fan, I'm kind of just chalking this one up to like, all right, that was our dud game. And then going on, you're going back to Boston now. You got to really quickly put this one behind you because the Warriors could obviously take home court back. I believe game 3 is Tuesday, I think.
It's actually Wednesday.
Oh, it's Wednesday. You're right. The hockey one. Game 4 for the Rangers is
Wednesday. Yeah.
Are we moving away from basketball already, though?
That's true. We should stick here.
Yeah. I mean, the Warriors are just the better.
Warriors are in fact good.
The third quarter run, the Warriors keep going. It's like clockwork. How I don't know how they do it, but
I don't know either.
The game was effectively over.
Like it really is. Like it has to be studied. Like what did he say? Does he not say anything? I don't think he even says anything. They're like,
does he need to say anything? It's just like, okay, set a screen for Steph
maybe
out
like
there.
one piece that was so motivational that like every third quarter is going to run. Like at the beginning.
Maybe he gives them Mike's secret stuff. I swear to God, man.
Draymond's secret stuff, bro.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. I want someone to fuck Draymond up. I'm sorry, bro.
Really? Is he really that annoying?
I don't know. Did you watch the whole game tonight?
I watched up until the third quarter.
I didn't really watch that much of the game. I took a nap after the game.
Did you see the foul in the first half that they called on Grant Williams, where Draymond literally just put his head down and ran him over?
Yes, I did see that. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, no.
And Draymond's also just moaning at officials like all the time. He never stops complaining.
He's literally sitting on the bench talking to one of the officials.
Until Draymond Green starts hitting threes, though.
I mean, obviously, I have a bias coming from a Celtics fan standpoint, but I just want to see that dude get his shit slapped.
No, I have a meme that's like everybody gangster until Draymond Green starts hitting threes, and I showed them with the backpack. Like that's just great.
Yes, sir. Yeah. The backpack one. Yeah, I remember that. But yeah, Draymond's gonna be Draymond, man. Like he's been like that forever. You just have to learn it. But like the Celtics also have. I mean, maybe not as extreme as Draymond, but they also have
smart.
They have Marcus.
Marcus is, and like even like the Celtics definitely have like a Draymond type energy about him.
In terms of like
Jalen
pettiness and like annoyance to teams.
Yeah, no, I think there's definitely a comparison there between Smart and Draymond, but I would also say at this point, I would take Smart over Draymond. 1, for his offensive game, and 2, I think he's better at defense at this point. But also, I just think he's less, like he isn't an instigator, don't get me wrong, but he's not an instigator like Draymond is.
Draymond is a first ballot Hall of Fame instigator.
Yeah, but he's also just a Hall of Fame.
I don't know though. I think Draymond's like facilitating. I still might take him. I don't know.
Marcus can facilitate too, though. Maybe not as well.
They really run that whole offense through. Like Draymond has more assist opportunities than Steph. Like if you take it. Like he has so much. That's why I love that.
But you also got to realize he has Steph to throw the ball to, and Steph has Draymond to throw the ball to.
That's true. JT isn't as like easy. I mean, because a lot of JT's assists too like aren't catch and shoot. So like some of like though, even if you do make a good pass to JT, he'll like spin move, pump fake. It's like I don't. Thanks, JT. Hell of a teammate that is.
The last thing I really wanted to bring up about the Celtics is I don't know if you guys have seen like the 538 article that I saw, but
I know they gave the Celtics like an 80% chance to win.
Yeah, no, if you know 538, it's this big like statistics website basically where they delve into sports, they delve into politics, and just a really reliable, good website. But going into the series, I believe they had the Celtics at an 82% chance to win the finals. Yeah. And then after game 1, it went up to 92. And I don't know what it is now. But I mean, even coming from a Celtics fan, that felt high to me.
Yeah,
No,
so
I
the
definitely
ESPN one
questioned
was
that.
even more though.
Yeah, ESPN was 86%, which
Wow.
that really threw me off because ESPN normally would like favor the Warriors. I thought they'd be like pro Warriors, but I guess like they do have a lot of Boston people there.
It's not even about that's just numbers though. Like it's not.
Yeah.
All right. Right now, it's back down to 82. It's back down to 82.
I mean, let's still fucking take 82.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind that is though. I mean, politics. They did have a. I mean, everyone missed, but they gave Hillary a big body chance to win that election.
Hillary really blew the ultimate lead.
Trump really took that underdog mentality.
Yeah, he was like,
Did,
"Count
man.
me out."
You faded me 538.
You fading me,
Man.
fade
Imagine
Hillary.
fading Donald. All right.
And then the other thing, just to finish this off, the other thing I saw, and I was interested to get you guys' input here, but they had the Celtics as a projected, if they played the whole season now, 82 game season, they had them as a 67 win team.
That's interesting. Like, what would they be? I mean, 67. That's super tough. Like 67. A lot of things have to go right, and that also would be like they'd have to all stay healthy and everything else.
It's so hard. Like 67, like you're approaching like all-time great team territory. Like there's something can't do that.
That's why I was so shocked. I was like, this team is actually like it's such a good team. But they did not approach that. Like, obviously,
Spurs also won 69 games that year because no one really talks about it because they lost in like the second round. But like it was like that year.
The C's. The analytics just love the Celtics, man. I mean, and they loved the Yankees coming into the year too. And the Yankees have exceeded. This was the first. Like usually the analytics don't mess with the Yankees, but this year actually like 538 almost boys loved them. I mean,
the analytics are wrong, man.
Unreliable. Who would ever cite analytics for anything? Man?
Never ever.
They call Kurt Mr. Eye Test, man.
Not that dog in a minute.
All right.
The Red Sox, all I'm saying, they have that Mamba mentality. They missed a few shots, but they're gonna bounce back. They're still shooting.
They're still chucking.
I thought Boston hated Kobe. Like, what happened though?
I mean, you got to give him his flowers. He's dead now.
He's dead now.
Got to show him some respect.
Yeah, and also just like
besides, Tatum simps for him. So,
dude, okay, I gotta lie.
How funny was that
extreme now? Like he's gotta chill with that. Like he's having like
I don't know, bro. I'm on like the other end. I know a lot of the internet was like the meme culture was like, oh, because he wore the same thing that Kobe wore. I thought that was pretty cool because he had to go and get the 96 one. And he had a Kobe type game too, and like I don't know, I thought that was pretty cool. Like I think people need to like stop. I think people need to stop dick riding Tatum so much. Like he's a Kobe.
He did it during Game 7 one time, but he can't do it like multiple times. He can't just text him multiple times. Like
the texting thing is like I don't know why he's sharing it is a little weird, but like also he did just win Game 7, and like I just know that like a lot of people were getting on him for wearing the same.
Yeah.
Sure.
I was just gonna say he was also obviously he was a really big mentor to Tatum, and they had a good personal relationship. So I don't think the text thing is like that weird, or even like wearing the thing. But like, I agree that posting it's a little weird.
Yeah, especially posting the text, but but it's also like I think at that point he like when you win a Game 7, I feel like you're just all like, I'm going to be me and everyone else is going to have to deal with it because I just won this Game 7. So I feel like that's like what his vibe was. Like, I'm just going to like give my flowers to whoever I want to give them to. And then he wanted to give them to Kobe. So, I mean, shout out Kobe, man. But yeah, the analytics, I mean, I think the thing is like, it's just information. Like, this is a bit off topic, but people like to, like a lot of people are scared of analytics. And like, it's literally just more efficient ways to process information. That's always been there. Like it's so like why wouldn't you use it? Like the teams that went out in front and used analytics, they are the teams that like the Astros, the Red Sox, you get baseball, and then you go on to like basketball.
The
Warriors.
You even think of Moneyball with like the Athletics, man.
They also use something else.
Like obviously, like you can mix in too. Like the big thing is like analytics. Like I guess like it's such a change because like they're the new thing, but eventually they're going to become commonplace, and they're like going to get on the common.
They already are becoming commonplace.
Exactly. In the early 2000s, like the A's were the only team using it. By now, it's like every team pretty much are using it. So it kind of like gangs back down, and then you still need to like the eye test. I mean, it's still important. Mm-hmm. Like, but the analytic, like it's just more information that you can use for just whatever. So I mean, we're a pro analytics pod for sure.
I am definitely like, if there's any source of information that you can use, like why would you not use it?
Yeah.
Why would you not try to have as much knowledge as you can?
You gotta keep that balance too between the eye test. You can't be like 100% analytics. That's how
no, you can't. But also, like you can use both. Like you still have your two eyes even after looking at analytics.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can,
but I think also the analytics are more reliable than the eye test.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely are. No one, man. But I don't care how long you've been scouting. Like they all do have, but all like, and also like what the eye test is like also done is like. What it significantly does, it's still like when it comes to recruiting, especially this is like kind of a switch topic, but when people like recruit, it's like if you have a guy that can, even though he doesn't shoot great, when you're recruiting for the next level, so this is high school going to college going to NBA, and you see a guy has all the athletic traits. Oh, he can jump 40 inches. Like as a scout, that is going to be, even if you miss that pick, it's like, well, he had all these athletic traits. Like, it's the coach's job. You're probably going to keep your job if the dude was an athletic freak. But rather than going by the numbers and being like, well, this guy, if a guy doesn't have the athletic traits and he doesn't work out, you're probably fired as a scout. So that's also why there was some, like, resistance, because scouts could look for, like, just pure eye test stuff and then blame it on the coach or the development if they didn't work out, as opposed to analytics. That's something I've noticed. Like that's why our two best players at Binghamton, my alma mater, Binghamton, were very under recruited, and it was like they both cited that. I was like, they just didn't pass the eye test. So it's interesting.
What? So I'm curious what you guys have to say about the Yankees. I'm not really curious, but like,
listen, man,
the Yankees down,
another sweep for the fellas.
Another
win. We're 39-15. Like what? Like it's either like get on board or like get the fuck out. Like we're winning the World Series. There's really nothing else. Like of course, but we're 39-15, and all the analytics loved us heading into this year. It's fucking like I can't express. This team just wins. I mean, it's
win.
Like that's all there really is to say, and everyone steps up, and it's crazy. Donaldson with the walk-off today, and Judge is going to win MVP. I mean, in this series,
that's a given. Like
that's a given. Judge is going to win MVP.
Please stop it. Please stop.
Not a given, but like even if
he's the favorite right now. It's overwhelming.
He's the odds on.
You could say he's the favorite right now, but it is impossible to say it's a given, especially at this point.
That's true.
Yeah, all right, I'll give you that, but I really just don't see like one. It's been a while since the Yankees won MVP. The Yankees are the best team. I mean, that could change. But I just
gotta give it to the Yankees. You know, it's been a while.
Like I think it's
have to.
It's been A-Rod, right? It's been since A-Rod.
A-Rod in 07, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a while, so it's not like voter fatigue's going to come in. And AOS, wait, did Mookie win MVP on the Sox?
Yeah.
Hey, so we're about to get a more recent MVP and a more recent World Series, so you can't keep throwing.
I'll believe it when I see it
for much longer, man. Listen, like what more do you need to like? Okay, you're only setting yourself up for disappointment with this Yankee team, man. Going out like It's crazy. I mean, just another sweep. Like I know you guys swept. Like I know, hey, the Red Sox. Listen, I know since May you guys have had the second best record in baseball.
Second, but we've had the
Man,
first.
we're
Give it up
red
for
hot.
them. The second best record.
Yeah,
Okay.
second.
You know what though? We are now actually the top team in the league in runs scored.
Yeah,
like, do you have the top team record-wise?
The only reason that is because
but we're
Stanton
trending
was on
up.
the 10-day IL. Because Stanton was on the 10-day IL. If we had him, we would have smoked you in that score. Like we just
Big
our best.
cap. Big
Come on,
cap.
that's another 3 home runs in 10 days.
I don't give a fuck about Stan. That's another 10 strikeouts.
Yeah,
you don't give a fuck about. Wait. You, the Red Sox fan, don't care about Stan. Let's hold on there.
Like,
this man is the Red Sox father.
He really is.
Yeah, well, what else has he done?
One MVP. I mean, he's won an MVP.
Yeah, with the Miggity
Marlins.
Marlins.
How true, how relevant the Marlins, man.
So incredibly.
Thanks, Jeter, for saucing us then, man.
Yeah, but Jeter really just sauced away all their good players and said, "I'm out."
Man.
He
like,
really
was
did,
that
man.
real when he like had like Nick Adams when he was like this you when he signed him? I really hope that was real.
Derek Jeter also did fire that Marlins executive. Like, wow, he was in his hospital.
Oh yeah, cancer.
Wow, he had cancer. Like, it's gonna have to be serious time. It's pretty rough, man. Boy, gee, it's like this is one of the few probably like a Yankee conversation that like genuinely might be like more pro A-Rod than Jeets. But that's a conversation for another day. We gotta swing it over to actually no. Like,
hey yo, let me get the Red Sox. You got your Yankees.
I know they're just so irrelevant back there. I almost forgot about them. What's up with the Red Sox?
I don't even have too much to say about the Red Sox, but I'm liking where we're headed right now.
They swept
obviously
the Yankees,
just today we slid into the wild card spot. Yeah. Big dub over the Athletics.
Yeah, right.
Like I said, leading the league in runs now. Rafi Devers, dark horse for MVP.
Yeah.
JD Martinez is still batting like 380, by the way, too.
Yeah.
And I think we have some call-ups that are gonna make some noise for the rest of this year. Jarren Duran's looking a lot better than last year. Franchi Cordero looking a lot better. He had a 3-run home run today. And who knows? Maybe we get Casas up soon because sure as hell Bobby Dahlbeck is not cutting it.
Yeah, man, Bobby Dahlbeck, another former guy Sox fans hyped up.
I'm sorry, but
actually not.
Bro, I was so excited for Bobby last year. I thought he was gonna have a 30 home run year.
Like, he's just not good. Like,
yeah,
was he one of the guys you got for Mookie? Like, or is he homegrown?
I think he was a homegrown one. I'm not 100% sure on that. I would have to check.
Here's the thing: all
right, actually, wait.
Prospects in baseball, they're just that. They hope for one of the prospects to be good. And that's about the Mookie trade. It's just at the end of the day, it's just how many of those prospects do you think will be as good as Mookie? You're not hoping for that.
But there is the other side of that too, where the Mookie trade doesn't look great, even though the Sox did win a world. No, have they won a World Series since they made that trade? No, they haven't. No. They got to the ALCS, but you have the James Shields trade, right? Where they got Tatis from that. So, I can see. I can definitely see it both ways, but Andujar for the Yankees. If we're gonna go into a bit of specifics here, Andujar, I think it's definitely a shame. I can see why he requested that trade. Playing behind Joey Gallo, it's got to be frustrating. Yeah. Even though Gallo came up big today with a 2-run home run, but Andujar, I'm gonna reflect he's earned a spot as an everyday player, and if he's not getting it with the Yankees, he has every right to request a trade. I've seen some fans and you can contribute to a World Series team, but this isn't high school anymore. He's trying to go get paid while he can. So, and he's also getting sent down. That's just he's above that. Andujar is a really good player, and I don't care what we're playing Hicks and Gallo. He should be playing above them.
Yeah, especially Hicks.
especially Hicks. So, especially Hicks cannot hit with runners in scoring position, bro. He's gonna be
it hurts the team more than it contributes.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Like Hicks coming up in a rally, it's just there's this, but maybe he'll turn around. But I doubt we need to get him back to Minnesota. Anyway, that's baseball.
How good he was a couple of years ago. I think in 2018, he was generally the second best second fielder in baseball that year behind Trout.
Yeah, dude.
Stats and everything.
Yeah, so he could still come back. You want to
but no, that was
that. But also, if you're Andujar, come on, you gotta get to a place where you're gonna showcase your talents.
Yeah, and Andujar's the home road too.
All right, so that's the Yankees and Red Sox.
Wait a second. I have one more thing before we pivot over to hockey. Yeah. Just real quick. Sorry about that. I had to kill a centipede on my girlfriend's ceiling. But I wanted to bring up the Angels actually.
Yeah.
Because they are in the midst of a crazy collapse.
I mean, what is there to say about the Angels? They're generally a disgrace. They have Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, and they're wasting them both. They need to trade them both. They deserve nothing ever. They're a disgrace. We can all agree on. They are an absolute disgrace to humanity. They're a disgrace to sports. They're a disgrace to everything.
Yeah, no. They've lost 11 straight. And on that note about Mike Trout, he's in the midst of one of his worst stretches of his career.
Yeah.
Last I heard, I don't know if it's changed today, but he was 0 for his last 26.
I think it was 0 of 23 heading into the day. So I think he went 0 for 3.
Oh, okay.
Because when I checked early in the morning, it was 0 23. Yeah, I mean the Angels, they were looking like they had turned a page, but they're losing 11 straight. They did get swept by the Yankees, which the Yankees also did just sweep the Tigers. So whatever with the Yankees, but that sweep certainly looks a little less impressive. But losing 11 games, that's it. They were 10 games above 500 too.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Exactly. They are headed in the wrong
direction. This year they're gonna turn it around, but I guess not. Maybe they they just use it sort of.
There's a big series. The Angels also have a couple. I know they play a 5-game set with the Mariners, which will be huge soon. But yeah, the Angels, they just continue. Whenever they went out and got pitching too. It just seems like the organization is cursed. They went out, they got Noah Syndergaard, right? They got
Rendon.
Yeah, they got.
That was a couple years ago, though.
Yeah, but still,
that was supposed to be a massive move that put them in the playoffs finally, or actually made them a contender, and it has not worked out like that.
Yeah, and just with the addition of Shohei too, even when they signed Rendon, Shohei wasn't like that. They didn't even anticipate having Shohei when they signed Rendon. So I don't know. I don't. What is Shohei's contract? I'm not sure, but they locked Trout up. You just have to figure one of these years it's going to click, and there's still time because the good thing about how they started is even with a losing 11 games in a row, they're only one game below 500. So,
and they're only half a game out of the wild card too.
So yeah, with that extra wild card spot, it definitely helps a lot. But I don't. There's just not. The Angels they just seem to disappoint. They're the consistently most disappointing team.
They'll make the playoff this year. We should just delete them.
We should just move them to Seattle, or wait, we have a baseball team in
Seattle.
Where would Montreal?
Move to Montreal. There you go.
Yes, sir. That would
Problem
be so
solved.
Imagine Trout and Shohei in Montreal, man.
In Montreal,
bro. When the Red Sox went to Montreal, how stupid would I go?
So, how stupid would I go when the Yanks show went to Montreal? We'd probably be at each of those series. The thing, it'd be so easy.
Yeah.
It'd be so easy, man. Like imagine a Montreal like ALC. All right, but that'd be hype. It would be hype, but the Angels would have to get their shit together for that to happen. And the way they lost today was brutal. Did you see how they lost today?
No, I did not.
No, I did not.
Oh, dude, they were up 6-2 in the 8th, and Bryce Harper hit a grand slam, which was good. Yes, sir. Yeah, Harper hit a grand slam, which helped me and Kurt's season-long home run parlay. What
was that? Was it
Stanton, Harper, Freeman, Abreu, and Arenado?
Stanton might not get. No, he still will.
Stan.
Freeman's the one that's worrying me.
Yeah, he's
at 11. But
he's at 11 now?
Stan's at 11, yeah.
Oh, Stanton is. I thought you were saying Freeman. I'm like, really?
Yeah, no, he's at 4.
Yeah, he needs to get it going big time.
Yeah, he needs to. And Abreu, low-key is at 7, though. He's been hitting a bit better with home runs. Like, Freeman's been such a good hitter for the Dodgers.
The start of the season, Abreu was so cold, but he's waking up.
Yeah, that's what we want. It's a long season. It's a long season. But yeah, then anyway, they took the lead. They'll back in the 9th inning after they tied it up, but then gave up another 3-run home run and lost.
Wow.
So it was just brutal. Like this is definitely like Angel fans like therapy, man. They gotta like have that. They're just in one of those baseball.
They need a support group.
Yeah, where they can't just catch it dumb,
baseball, Susan.
Susan, you can't predict baseball, man. Shout out to John and Susan, holding it down as always. All right, we've talked about the Angels just need to get their stuff together because I definitely think the playoffs would be better if they're
way better,
especially if they're in it instead of the bummy ass Red Sox.
And it's better for baseball. I mean, not over the Red Sox, obviously, but over someone like the bummy ass Yankees, maybe. It's better for baseball to have guys like Trout and Shohei in the playoffs on the biggest stage.
The Angels-Yankees playoff series would bring the ratings like to an all-time high, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sox agents would be pretty high too. Oh, they don't do the wild card game anymore. I forgot. It's a best of 3.
Really? All right.
Yeah, I think they changed the
format. I like the wild card game.
Yeah, the wild card game was hype.
Yeah, I mean it was definitely stressful. Were the Sox ever in a wild card game?
Last year.
How real? Fuck.
Hey,
the Yankees have been in which is so many. But yeah, how real, man.
I wouldn't have thought you'd have forgotten about that one already.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah. You know, it's like last years in the past, you know, like we're still like 10 games ahead of you guys right now. So, you know, it is what it is. You can cling on to the past, man. It is what it is. We didn't have that GOAT Josh Johnson, man.
You want to talk about clinging on to the past? You're a Yankees fan. Come on now.
Hey, yo, listen, man. The Yankees. When was the last time the Yankees actually had a bad season? Like this is the thing. Like we're always right there.
Okay, the Red Sox might have a couple of bad seasons, but you know, at least we win chips.
Can't really say anything to that, to be honest, except this year when we win a World Series. Finally shut you guys up, but we're moving now. We gotta move. We gotta give hockey time of day because the Rags caught a fat L to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Ramen, the floor is yours. What do you got?
You know, it was a very tough loss. Because it just felt like we were going to bury them after going up 2-0 in the game, 2-0 in the series. And when you have an opportunity to bury any team, but especially the Tampa Bay Lightning, who are on the midst of one of the greatest runs, and not only in hockey history, but in sports history, you do it. And the fact that we let them back in the series is, you know, it's tough. Stupid penalties, especially by Jacob Trouba, back in the end. The third period, like, it sort of like was one of the first games in a while where it was like the rely on Igor to bail us out game, especially in the third period, which we had done for a while, really up until like not even the Carolina series have we got to do it that much. It took us back to the regular season. Really. He made 48 saves and still lost. But we got to move on. But we still are up 2-1. But Game 4 is extremely important. I really don't want to go 2-2 heading back to Game 5. I don't want to give them any momentum. But yeah, still overall though, wasn't that bad of a game, but that third period was tough.
Where would you put your confidence level 1 to 10?
Like a 6.
Okay.
Well, probably maybe a 5. It's still
it is the Lightning.
Did this game bring you back, bring you off cloud 9 a little bit?
Yeah. But I still think if we win this game or win it, everyone says, "Oh, Colorado's the overwhelming favorite." I think Colorado's a little overrated. I'm not gonna because it's just I know I'm gonna get a shot, maybe some waves when I say it, but I think Colorado's more beatable than people think. I don't think that there's unbeatable force. I think we can easily beat Colorado. I'm not even gonna. But we gotta get through the Lightning first.
Are you more scared of Tampa Bay or Colorado?
Tampa.
That's interesting.
Wow. Okay.
Because they have the one goalie that can match Igor.
That's fair.
I will say, the Rangers are the only New York team I can ever really root for because I don't care about hockey that much.
Yeah.
Even though I'll still give Ross shit about it.
Yeah.
But
they're a likable ass team.
Yeah, they are a likable team. I like Igor. He's obviously incredibly talented, and the kid line is fun. And I mean, all of that is exciting. But at the end of the day, Avalanche are still gonna beat you guys. So.
I mean, even if they get past Tampa.
Even if we get past the 2-time Stanley Cup.
I'm saying that you're getting past Tampa though, and then losing to the Avalanche. That's my prediction.
All right, bet.
Right, what's your prediction? How many? Do you think
this series is going 7? I just have a feeling.
You really think that already? Well, if you already think the series is going 7, then losing I mean, obviously you want to win the 4th game.
But I don't know. I don't know if it is. If we win the 4th game, then it really just all depends on what happens in Game 4.
Yeah. What do you think? What are the things that you think the Rangers need to do in Game 4 to reclaim
We really need to our defense needs to be better than it was in Game 3. We need to be more disciplined. Trouba has sort of become a problem a little bit. And which is crazy for me to say it because he's the momentum guy. He's sort of been the villain role in the playoffs, with the Crosby hit and with in general, he's sort of been the momentum guy, but in this game, he was took extremely dumb penalties and one that led to the power play goal. So, it's gotta be a conversation really about that. You gotta stop taking these. I think he's going overboard with it. But we're a young team, so I think we'll make mistakes. But he's gotta learn. I think this team bounces back. They've been in so many holes in this situation, 3-1, 2-0, 3-2. I don't really have much I'm not worried about them bouncing back anymore. That's long in the past with this team.
Wait, so what about Trouba's the enforcer, right? What about Reeves? Is he
Reeves is the enforcer. He's the guy that just fights, but Trouba hits people. He generated a lot of controversy mainly because from the Crosby hit, which was 50-50. But Sid also needs to keep his head up.
Sid needs to keep his head up. How bummy Sid.
Oh no, terrible hockey.
Hey yo, so see, there's nothing with the. Yep. All right. I think that should just about.
Ayo. I'm gonna cut you off there because I have a couple other things I kind of want to get into on the football side of things.
We can talk football.
Football.
And The two things I really want to talk about. One, I want to hear both of your opinions on the Giants win total. And two, I just sent the chat the newly released Madden 23 running back rankings. And I kind of wanted you to have a look at that.
What was it?
I thought particularly Saquon and Damian Harris are both very debatable on there.
Saquon's low 80s, I think, right? That's like
he is at an 87 right now.
That's too high.
Really? I don't think it is. I really okay. Actually, seeing who he's okay. I think that Najee should be an 88, but like Saquon, dude, the thing about Saquon is he's still like, yes, he hasn't, but the Giants have also been incompetent, and like his rookie year, he's shown you his ceiling, and if he can hit that again, bro, like he's the best in the league. So,
but I think that's a big if still though, because you haven't seen that from him really since his rookie season, and it's honestly, as a sports fan in general,
his second year was still really good when he came back from the injury. And he didn't play that much, but he still had 1,000 yards.
The thing is, he hasn't been healthy, but I think like looking at, I thought 87 was a little low, but then I looked at like, but I do think like ahead of him, it's like I don't think I would take like Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb, Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, Austin Eckler, and Aaron Jones. I might put him over Aaron Jones, but
Aaron Jones
ahead of him. Good.
I think Najee should be ahead of him. Najee, like, but so I think like I don't think Aaron Jones should be 3 overall is better than both Saquon and Najee.
Mm-hmm. No, so I think Jones is better than Barkley, but maybe it should be closer. Najee should be better than Barkley, but below that on the list, I think there's not much argument for better than Saquon. Maybe you could say a guy like Leonard Fournette who had a big season.
Cowboys fans will say Zeke, but no,
hell no. He's not even the best running back on his own team. Where's Tony Pollard on this list?
Oh, true. So what I can't see where. Okay, wait. Oh, Damian Harris is 81. I think that's
Damian Harris is the 26th ranked running back. He led the league in touchdowns last year.
But okay, I actually would put Damian Harris above like Cam Akers. DeAndre Swift is too low. Okay,
yeah, that was the other one I wanted to bring up. He is way too low.
Yeah,
he should be like an 87.
Swift, as long as he stays healthy, is going to be like if the fantasy consensus, I don't think it is, but if if DeAndre Swift is the 23rd running back taken in fantasy, whoever takes him is going to win a chip. Like.
Oh yeah,
Swift is going to be, and we'll talk about fantasy more. I mean, but in terms of Derrick Henry, JT, Nick Chubb, I might have CMC though. He hasn't been healthy in a while, so
yeah. Let me see though. I would put Damian Harris over Gibson. I'd put him over Akers. I'd put him ahead of Javonte right now, even though I think Javonte's probably.
I don't know if I'd put him over
more
Montgomery.
Talented.
I don't know if I put him over
we haven't seen him in that. We haven't seen him in that full role that Damian Harris has had yet, so I don't know.
Yeah. I would take Montgomery over Harris.
That's tough for me.
I think
probably agree,
like
mostly because I'd probably do that just because the Bears O-line is just so god awful, and he's still been able to produce pretty well.
Yeah.
But I think Melvin Gordon should be lower than an 85.
I think so too. Yeah, Gordon.
And I might take Harris over Melvin Gordon, honestly.
Yeah, I think Javonte is definitely gonna like. You could see by the end, like Melvin Gordon was losing that job to Javonte. I think that's gonna continue.
Yeah, I was honestly shocked that the Broncos re-signed him.
Yeah. But I definitely think most of those guys should still be over Melvin Gordon. Like Melvin Gordon just kind of seems like like he doesn't seem to make many plays anymore. Like
he's still like a competent running back, but I don't think he deserves to be top 15, 85 overall. I
No.
don't think he's that. And maybe he was like back in his heyday on the Chargers, but
on his heyday in the
he
Chargers, he was
top 5 in his heyday.
No, he was so good in his heyday in the Chargers. In Madden, he was
in fantasy too.
Yeah, how true. Because he catch Austin Eckler's kind of filled that like Melvin role though, like to a T.
Oh yeah.
Like he might even be better.
Eckler's an underrated fantasy running back. People don't like check.
I think Melvin's the better runner than Eckler, but Eckler is so much better at pass catching, obviously.
Well, yeah, in a PPR league, that's the name of the game. So
yep.
Eckler is gonna be over him, and then the Giants win total is the easiest under in the entire thing. Like literally, I don't understand why they are 7.5. Like, I think on DraftKings they're just 7. 7 is a bit tougher, just because like there's that big like 7 and 10 is like okay. What it feels like to me though is that the Giants win total is closer to their ceiling than most teams are.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take 7.5, which I think it is at FanDuel. It's like 8 wins to me.
I think they definitely need a lot of things to click together and a lot of things to go right to reach that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, as opposed to if you look down the list, it's like usually you look at it and it's like, okay, maybe they can get a couple wins above, maybe below, but like generally that's probably the most likely outcome. Like the Patriots 8.5 is a lot tougher of a decision because they could definitely go 8 and 9. But like I just like the Giants. I don't see it. I don't see what moves they've made. I mean, yes, they had a good draft. We could swing it over. Actually, let me talk about the Giants draft. Because this is something I've been brewing for a while. Like they knocked it out of the park in the first round. Absolutely, grand slam, hit a home run. And you could say, oh, well, they just took the guys at 5 and 7. They made the layups. That's true, but layups are still.
That's not a given. Yeah, that's not a given.
Layups are still 2 points. Like they took what was there. They sat at 5 and 7. And it was a long-term thing, too, from the Fields trade last year. They made it pay off. They got 5 and 7. So one good thing Gettleman did. And they picked Neal and Thibodeau. But the second round on, they just reached. And part of it, when you're evaluating a new GM, is like, yes, I like that you took the players you're supposed to at 5 and 7. But then Wan'Dale Robinson, one of the biggest reaches of the second round. He has the shortest catch radius PFF has ever charted coming out. And it's like he's Kadarius Toney 2.0. And on top of that, everyone and their mother knew that James Bradbury was out of New York by the time the draft rolled around. Every Giants fan knew it. Every NFL exec knew it. That's why they couldn't trade anybody for him. When they were picking in the second round, this class had a lot of corners that were in the mid-first to lower second round or late first, early second round here. And they could have picked a lot of really good – they could have picked Andrew Booth, who had an injury thing, but still. They could have picked Petrie, I believe. I can look it up, but I'll look it up. Like, there were a lot of DBs taken in front of them is what I'm saying. When they traded back, there are a lot of like mid-tier and like going into it, I was like, okay, we got to get a corner here. They picked Kadarius Toney, honestly, poor man's Kadarius Toney, in my opinion, and pass up. And now their secondary is looking just absolutely in shambles without James Bradbury.
Yeah, they're not going to be good, but they're moving in the right direction. They're not like a laughing stock anymore. They're going to be like in more games.
They may not be a laughing stock.
They might be a laughing stock for another year or two at least.
Man, oh man, you love
David. Man, I can't even like. I don't like.
They're moving,
but
in the right
I do
direction,
like Dable.
Okay?
Actually, Rag, go ahead. I've said it.
They're moving in the right direction
with Dable and all of them. Yeah, but we also thought they were moving in the right direction heading into this year. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Joe Judge is the future.
I've
Danny
never
Dimes. It's a franchise quarterback.
Listen, man. At least if it all falls apart this year, we can get rid of Danny Dimes. Like, at least we can move on from that failed experiment. And I've definitely said this to you guys before. I don't think I've ever said it on a podcast, but talking to Giants fans about Daniel Jones, it's actually not a new experience because I also had to talk with them about old Eli. But it was just like, fellas, we got to get on the same page that this quarterback sucks. Like, we can't just like,
he sucks.
you can't keep pretending that like
everything's okay. Yeah.
It's like Brian Dable, you know what he did with Josh? It's like, that wasn't really him that did that with Josh Allen.
Well, you see, yeah, the difference is that was Josh Allen, and this is Daniel Jones.
Josh Allen was such a unique situation because he played multiple sports in high school. So, like, he didn't really focus on football exclusively until he got to college. And then at Wyoming, he didn't have top-tier coaching. So when he got to the NFL, he was, like, he never had, like, the best available coaching. And there is some thought of, well, if we develop him, we can see what we have here. Daniel Jones went to the Manning camp from, like, middle school to when he was drafted in the NFL. He had not Cliff Kingsbury. Who was it? I don't remember who his college coach was, but it was somebody that was very close with the Mannings. And he went to Duke, which just stinks of privilege. The point is that this man had every aspect to develop into. There was no point in his athletic career where he didn't have the top available coaching to develop him. So, like, to say that he's suddenly going to spring forward, it's like, I hope it happens. Like, I'll be happy. I'll go on here and be like, my bad, Daniel. I just don't think it's going to happen. Like, no, I think we need to acknowledge that it's not going to happen. And that he's
going to be a career journeyman, which is fine. But, like,
yeah, I don't see him
long and respectable career, but, like, that.
As a backup, how true. I will say that DJ would probably be one of, if not the best backup quarterbacks in the league.
Like, yeah, I think that's fair.
Like, I think that he can go and, like, he's definitely that backup QB
that can go in and win a few games if you need. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's in his future, but we'll see. I mean, Bryce Young and the Giants, they do have an easier schedule, which is probably why they put that, because they finished second in the NFC East going into last year. So they had to play teams that also finished second in their division. They'll be playing teams that finished last. But there is no team that I look at in the NFL and say the Giants should and will take care of them. So that's where I am with the Giants. I guess we can swing it back to the Pats. How we 8.5.
Let's see. We're not feeling bad. I think I would definitely take the over on that, coming off a 10-win season. Obviously,
I don't know.
The division did get tougher. But I think
the AFC, no. The Patriots I don't think they're making the playoffs.
Okay. I mean, that's your opinion. But all I know is the Giants are definitely not making the playoffs.
We
already said that, though.
I'm just reminding you. Maybe you forgot.
Yeah. Sure,
I think the Patriots, they did address some needs. They obviously lost some important guys, too. But I think, for one, people are undervaluing the linebacker core that we have, and specifically Cameron McGrone, who we drafted last year in the 5th round. He's a big talent. The only reason he dropped that far was because he had a big ACL injury, and he basically redshirted last year. But he's going to need to step into a big role. He was a 5-star recruit out of high school. He was like, he started multiple years at Michigan, and I think he's gonna surprise a lot of people.
I mean, if anybody can develop like a talented linebacker like that too, it's definitely the Patriots. Like, do y'all still have Hightower? Is he?
He is still a free agent, actually.
Oh, okay, word. But yeah,
but he was disappointing last year, honestly.
Yeah. So the thing about linebackers, Patriot linebackers, because they know how to use them. Generally, linebackers are some of the least valuable positions, but see, that's according to analytic, and it's also like tough to like rate linebackers in coverage because like they're not coverage people, so it's like completions they give up, but more with linebackers, you're looking for how quickly they make the tackle after the catch. So it's definitely like interesting, like the value of linebackers. You have a guy like Fred Warner, Bobby Wagner. They could dictate like a good middle linebacker can just do so much for a defense, but generally like they are coverage liability. So we'll see like what happens with the Patriots.
No, but I think the important thing too going into the offseason was getting faster because
and they did.
I mean, you guys saw the Bills game in the playoffs, and it was a complete
we did.
Oh yeah, we did.
Fucking Isaiah McKenzie literally running all over us, making us look like an absolute joke. But we added Jabril Peppers, who I think will play a big versatile role.
About that, dude. Yeah, you really got Peppers from this.
Yeah, Jabril's gonna ball out for you guys.
We definitely reached on a couple of draft picks, but I think honestly the draft isn't as bad as some are making it out to be. And it'll look a lot better when we see these guys on the field, especially if Cole Strange, for one, can actually secure the starting guard spot.
I've unfortunately come around on the Cole Strange pick. Like, he is one of the most athletic guards that has ever come out of college, period. If you look at his like that. Like he can like his pulling skills, and just said you needing to get faster. That's for all positions, and you got faster at guard if Cole Strange is there. Like especially with those Damian Harris like counter, like you pull
faster guard.
Mm-hmm. No, and that's the thing too. I think the running game is obviously going to stay an absolute strength this year, and we'll see a lot more of Ramondre Stevenson, who I think is honestly, he's a special talent. Mm-hmm. And then we drafted Pierre Strong out of North Dakota State.
Yeah.
Who was the fastest running back in the draft. I think what they envision for him is kind of being the James White of the future.
Yeah.
And filling in that pass catching role because White's getting up there in age. And then in the second round, Tyquan Thornton, once again, considered a bit of a reach. But I think he could certainly, like, I don't see a lot of flaws with him looking at the film. Like, he's solid. His hands are solid. He's the fastest guy in the draft, obviously. And, I mean, they took a shot.
I mean, but it is good. Like, at least you see a theme throughout the Patriots drafts, which is, like, we want to get faster. Like, Cole Strange, the first – when did they pick Pierre Strong? Third? Did they take him third?
That was the fourth, I think.
Oh, yeah, that was the fourth. So you still got, like probably the fastest guard, the fastest receiver, the fastest running back. So Bill definitely knows he needed to get faster. And even if he still doesn't have a, great concept of value and definitely I do think that in terms of drafting, you can criticize him. He's not the king like he is in in-game stuff. Like,
he needs to get better at drafting or hand it over to someone else, though.
Yeah.
All that I've said, I still believe that.
Yeah.
The draft could have gone a lot better still.
Yeah, and that's part of. I mean, also like you need to draft a lot better when you don't have Tom Brady. It's just a fact. Like when you don't have Tom Brady to cover up a lot of those misses that he had in the first round, late Brady. And maybe that's part of the reason too. I mean, the Bucket he went over to Tampa, and they had fantastic drafts before he came in, and even while he was there, they built up that secondary through the draft, and there's they drafted Winfield, and he hit Tyreek with the peace sign. They got him in the second round.
Disrespectful moment of all time.
That really might be, man. I don't know. The most disrespectful, like. There have been a lot of disrespectful moments, like Shaq.
Okay, yeah, that's an exaggeration.
Yeah, but no, that was like that might be though. That was pretty disrespectful. Like in the Super Bowl too, you got to consider the stage. Like that's like all of America watching him just hit the peace sign. That's pretty hard, man. Like that's.
I don't think it's more disrespectful than what Shaq and Chris Dudley, man.
Yeah, that guy ended up being a mayor too. Like he ends up serving.
No, he
Congress.
ran and lost. He got blown out because like he was
I mean, if you're the other candidate, you just show the video of him versus Shaq, and it's over.
It's like, is this who you want representing you? What is he gonna do?
Like, this is my opponent.
That is Shaq ran, man, just for shit. Shaq just ran against him. Shaq just runs against him, man, for shits and giggles.
Shaq and Chuck running against each other on the base stage.
Oh my god, dude! Shaq and Chuck need to run an NY21 immediately.
Oh,
opposite edge. Oh my god, dude! That'd be the most like dirtiest, most brutal campaign of all time. They'd both be like, "Yo, you're bald, man! I swear about this bald ass boy representing."
Yeah, well, you have no rings.
Literally, man. Ugly ass Shrek looking. That'd be crazy, bro. Actually, that's a great like sketch. To be honest, we gotta get on that. The Chuck Shaq political race.
Yeah, we'll have to make a separate sketch show, right?
Yeah, have to. Like Inside the NBA is gonna like get to that next election season. We gotta beat them to it. We gotta hook them up, make some bank.
Yeah, should
really need to make that cheddar. Recent college.
I'll get my animators on that right away.
Yes, sir. We need to get Sam Shant. Get him on it. Oh, fucking funny, Sam. All right. Well, it is 11:59. So hey, we really end this on the stroke of midnight. This has been episode 2. Shout out Kurt, really, actually, for extending this. I feel like this was like a really good episode. We kept the conversation going longer, which was good. So shout out Kurt there. But as we hit midnight, man, this is instant reaction to Boston and New York both losing. Discuss some other things. This is Kieran and Kurt and Ralph. Peace out.
Peace.